Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing out there? I am excited this morning because I have a very special friend of mine also who is a loyal customer of the Land of Kush and is a first responder out there in the streets of Baltimore working for the Baltimore City Fire Department. We are on the front lines with COVID. We have Haki S, Ammi, the success scholar, with us. Haki, how are you doing this morning?
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good afternoon, Naijha. How are you today?
It's still morning. It's 11 o'clock, Haki.
Oh, yes. Morning. Yeah, East Coast time, so it's good to be here.
So talk to us, Haki. Tell us, let's start off with your vegan journey. How did you begin? And then we'll get into what you're doing on the front lines in Baltimore City with the fire department and what's happening with COVID out there.
Certainly. Well, thank you, and I appreciate this opportunity. Appreciate the work that Land of Kush has done throughout the years, being a pioneer and work for the city of Baltimore to bring healthy, holistic lifestyle choices to the city of Baltimore. So myself, born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, came up eating everything and anything of health or nutrition. But I went into the Navy at age of 19. I got a little conscious early. And so, in my early 20s, I'd say, eliminated dairy and pork and some red meat. So I began to really expand my consciousness about what's going on in the world. So maybe it took a while for me, Naijha, throughout my late 20s into my 30s, where, a sister who's been a vegan for some time, she, I told her I was eating some turkey soup or something. She's like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was like, "Yeah, why am I doing that?" So I knew better. And so, but what the pivotal time in my transition, I had a rotator cuff injury on the job. And, I started thinking about healing and, we go through medical training. Many of us, went through it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I went through an EMT training.
No, we were just losing. There's a connection issue.
On my end?
Yeah, it's just a little delay.
Oh, okay.
Just breaking up. You were just breaking up a little bit.
Okay, so I knew about anatomy, physiology, and I wondered why I wasn't healing. My shoulder wasn't healing, and I started thinking about cells and rejuvenation of one's cells. So that made me really begin to seriously consider stepping my game up in terms of plant-based diet, holistic living. So I've been on that quest, I'd say about 10, 11 years now. So really been inspiring others and exposing people to alternative healings. So I'll just open with that.
You have brought a lot of customers through to the Land of Kush, and we definitely appreciate your support for that. Like over the years, constantly, we've seen you introducing your firefighter friends to the restaurant and exposing them to new and delicious food. Plant-based versus vegan. So you're plant-based, right? You follow more of an alkaline diet. Are you into some of the commercial vegan foods? What are your thoughts about plant-based versus vegan?
Well, one thing I try to do is try to find a balance. Sometimes, since I'm working a lot, not everything is perfect in terms of what I consume. Absolutely. But, certainly eliminating animal products has been my principal foundation. At first, it started out just as nutrition, but then understanding the environmental factors of what processing food and animals is doing actually on the planet. I started thinking, more holistically about what I'm actually doing, what I'm consuming, and the message I send. So again, and understanding, here's the thing, for me, even with some of our patients that we see, not everybody is ready to go, far and extreme, or what some are considering extreme, and totally eliminate all animal products, or but I try to encourage people to just add more plants to what you're doing, as well as bringing people to some of the more individuals who are doing this every day, like yourself, just to be that kind of catalyst towards a more healthier lifestyle. So I just understand, because there's difference, there's vegan, plant-based, and then whole food plant-based, because here's the thing, as some of these things that are out here that are labeled plant-based are just not, the most, they're not fully, plant-based, right?
Right.
If you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right,
So
right. You gotta read the labels. You gotta read the
right. So the bleach flours, the refined sugars and oils, we need to watch that and add the fruits, vegetables, whole grains and legumes to what we're consuming. So I've tried to step it up, and over the past few years, and this recently episode made me think a little bit more consciously about just where I am and how to heal my body even more.
What is your response when people say vegan food is not real food, that if you're not eating animal products, then you can't possibly be getting your nutrients and eating real food?
Well, science, science doesn't lie. People have eaten plant-based diets before the industrial times, before the agricultural revolutions of mass marketing of food. So the reality is that people have lived long lives with, just eating off the land, before the domestication of animals, shall I say. So, I always, I use, and I just take people to the science of it. And in Forks Over Knives, they got me thinking about, and I went and researched the China study that talked about how the Chinese, when they became, westernized in their diets, they began to have all these ailments. It is one of the most major mass studies done on food and health and nutrition in history. So I'm like, science doesn't lie, facts don't lie, numbers don't lie. So, to not debate people, you try to encourage people to have a mature conversation about that. And, I don't give no opinions on this. It's just, study, you know what I'm saying? Sis?
You don't want to argue with folks, right? You don't want to have those type of arguments.
Yeah, right. We, many of us should be above that. And that's what I mean by knowing your audience, knowing who you're talking to, and knowing where their training comes
psychologically from. Ready, right? If they're psychologically ready to receive that. Food Inc. is one of the documentaries that, yes, people should watch so they can get an understanding of what's really going on. So I'm glad you mentioned that as a documentary that you've been inspired by and has pulled you further or into this journey. How are you actually navigating through this pandemic?
Well, I've been stepping it up. I've been, really doing, just thinking about my whole body. And recently, I had a more of a knee related. It's called jumper's knee, and I think it's more related to, the physical activities that I'm involved in, with the occupation. But again, it made me start thinking about, like, well, what am I doing totally? And, just holistically thinking about, just oxygenation of my body, as well as resting, and, just water, and as well as breathing. So I really had to think a little bit differently in terms of knowing my body, what my body is saying, listening to my body, and knowing what nutritional foods, as well as, supplementation, understanding. I live in an urban environment. Naijha, you still?
I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, that was me. We live in an urban environment, and most of the foods that we are consuming, they may not necessarily be the most nutritionally sound. So, and I haven't done this rather recently, but Sister St. Clair, let me give her a shout out. When she does my blood work. I may have got one like a year and a half ago. So, I just encourage people to get a reading on your blood to know just like where you are nutritionally.
Yes, your sugar, your cholesterol, all of those numbers, those very important numbers.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
what I had to do. That's how I got on this eating journey. Now I've always had a love for animals. I've had pets. I always got them in pairs with cats, dogs, and things like that. So I've always been an animal lover. But from the health standpoint, I was still eating a lot of bad things, not understanding that animals encompasses, all animals. So again, the blood work that I received, the cholesterol was too high, and I couldn't even imagine that I was in this unhealthy state. So I definitely had to go on that journey and discover how I was going to improve my health. And of course, it had to do with decreasing animal consumption. So you got to know those numbers, folks. You got to know what your sugar level is, your sodium, your cholesterol, all of that type of stuff. Oh, so you went and got your blood sugar, all that stuff done.
Yeah. So, so that set me on, just another level of understanding, because I never got that type of assessment done to really get a strong foundation of, okay, like some people, they're eating food, but they may not necessarily know what it's doing in their body. And so that's what, and your blood is your lifeline of life, and having some clean, oxygenized blood is important to overall wellness. So that's,
not consuming too much dairy, because that milk is killing us. The inflammation of milk and the mucus that it causes. And, I always say that if I knew that as an adolescent, I would have stopped milk and dairy a long time ago. I had a lot of acne, that's toxins. Wow. And then you're going through, your hormones during those adolescent years. But all that milk, was causing bumps all over my face, my chest, my back. It was ridiculous. So, milk doesn't do the body good. It's not doing our children any good either. And we continue to, the government continues to promote this in the schools. A lot of the schools where you have low income, the dairy.
The food pyramid, right? Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's criminal, actually, when you think about the big picture of, how humans are kind of pushed like cattle into being nutritionally unwhole. So so we need to really even get into the schools and find a proper way to plant some seeds of education towards that. So yes.
Oh, trust me, we're working on that. Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland is a part of some coalitions, and we're getting ready to work with the city of Baltimore on a health commission that can be more plant-based focused, and see what we can do about getting some more healthier options in the school. Just having that dialogue. The last time I saw you, I was right outside the Greener Kitchen getting my vegan cheesesteak, because my daughter loves the vegan cheesesteak, and I had my mask on, and then you were asking about some gloves, and then you handed me this big box of gloves. Talk to me about what's happening on the front lines from the perspective, your perspective as a first responder with this whole COVID pandemic, and what do you see, and do you think that plant-based lifestyle is the way to immunity?
Absolutely. And thank you for, giving me this opportunity and letting the listening audience know, just, I've seen dozens and perhaps hundreds of patients. I've been exposed actually to patients that tested positive,
Wow.
And so fortunately, I didn't contract anything. Of course, we do have our proper PPE with the mask, goggles, and N95 respirators. Though one thing, that and this just my conscious side, coming out. We've heard a lot about mask, wearing your
Yes.
mask.
Yes, the mask debate, and we're in a campaign right now, Mask on Maryland, because the restaurants really have to have the customers masking up, and the employees have to be masked up. But there's this big debate. You got the folks that don't want it, they don't think it's necessary, and then you got the folks that it is necessary. Yeah. So talk about that, Haki.
Well, what I do know that it is a reality that people are getting sick, but the what I foresee from what institutions aren't necessarily saying or doing, and this is from me, listening to Dr. Aleem Mohammed, Phil Valentine. I mean, just really expanding Dr. Shiva. I mean, different people who I know and respect and trust that they're gonna, kind of teach something, honestly about holistic living and health, and balance that. And because I do believe honestly that we do need, various assessments of what is happening to people in the body. So I am listening to certain medical doctors who are talking and kind of synergizing all of this information for me personally, because every one of us is going to have to think personally about who we interact with and everything else. But the sad thing that I believe that is not happening is that, outside of the mask and, and telling people to do safe distancing, there's no conversations about food or nutrition or
Right.
supplementation with the zinc or magnesium, elderberry, ginger, garlic, turmeric, green tea, echinacea. I mean, no established institution is saying that. It's just we're gonna make some vaccine, and I don't think that vaccination 7 billion people on the planet. I mean, if that's like the bigger plot in this, I don't know if everyone needs a vaccine. Now, that's just my personal opinion on that, particularly when you have only a small segment of the people dying actually from it. So, I'm just going to say that. But other than that, I do try to practice social distancing personally, and I do wear a mask when I'm out places just to. I mean, there are sick people out here, and it should raise our awareness anyway of yeah. So of the toxins in our environment that are out here anyway. So that's the revolution that we need to be thinking about as well.
Yeah, so you're definitely confirming that plant-based lifestyle is the way to immunity. We really need to get some of these pure essential ingredients into our bodies. You mentioned the elderberry, and just everybody stop playing, go vegan. You see that? Stop playing, go vegan. Vegan, whole foods, plant-based. Get some whole foods in your body and build your immunity. Tell us about your activism. You got speaking and get your speaking. You got a book out, your radio show, organizing. How does all of that relate to social justice and food justice?
Well, certainly, one of the key things, and I would be remiss if I did not say this on this show in front of the tens of thousands of conscious environmental social justice advocates in the city of Baltimore. There was a recent case with Bresco and Curtis Bay Energy. Will are a raider, and the medical waste incinerator that our sister Brenda always talking about.
Yes.
And as well as the Clean Air Act. So
yes.
But what we need to work towards is a zero waste plan in the city of Baltimore. I mean, several advocates. That's right. That's off of Russell Street, that incinerator.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Assistant Naijha, it's on Russell Street.
I know.
So,
Yeah,
you know, yeah, right. Of course.
it's
So,
pollution.
I've
It's
connected with,
pollution. Pollution
mhm,
blanketing the city. Yes, the pollution is
absolutely.
blanketing the city and killing us in some type of way.
Absolutely. We talk about we can't breathe. Well, we really, here's the thing. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, no disrespect or offense, but when we talk about deaths and people getting killed, there's unprecedented number of people that are dying or slowly being killed by these environmental toxins that unfortunately they don't get the news that many that we see and many people protest against, but there should be equal if not more understanding of this issue and these related issues than say a police brutality, because these are the silent killers that unfortunately do not get our attention, that need our attention. So we need to stand up for against Bresco and shut it down. And I know they talking about breaking the contract, but we need to call the mayor's office and and Council President Brandon Scotts in the city of Baltimore, as well as other people need to be aware of that as well. So Keisha Allen, a young sister in Westport, has been working on that, as well as a few others in the TIF district. So
Shout out to Keisha Allen. Yes,
right.
we have to get all of this garbage out of our community because it's definitely structural racism, and it is designed to keep us down, unhealthy, and takes away our strength. We can talk about the lead paint, all of that stuff that's
Mm-hmm.
designed to
Yeah.
it's intentional. It's intentional, period.
Yes.
End of story. You're listening to Naijha Speaks. Subscribe to NaijhaSpeaks.com. This Saturday starts Maryland Vegan Restaurant Week. We are seeking restaurants to participate. You can go to mdveganeats.com. For the first time, we are waiving registration fees. If you are a restaurant, this is the best time to get involved with this initiative. We are going to promote your vegan menu. So you can be a vegan restaurant, a veg-friendly restaurant. You have to have some type of vegan menu. Send us the link after you register, and we will post it on our website. So again, mdveganeats.com. And for our folks that want to try out some fresh salad recipes, it's getting hot out there. You can go to bsmd.org, opt into the email, and you can download 20 fresh salad recipes. We are speaking to Haki Ammi, who is on the front lines with COVID. And he's speaking to us about his social justice and food justice and environmental justice activism. What do you think about our people buying into these corporations that support politicians? And I'm not going to name any names because we know from the federal, the state, and the local level, supporting politicians that do not have our best interests at heart in terms to health and wellness. We got mental health issues out here. We got physical health, emotion, all
Mm-hmm.
these type of health issues. What do you think about us buying into these corporations? So we got, whether it's the fast food corporations, whatever corporations they are that are supporting these politicians that are in office, why do our people continue to support them with our dollars? What are your thoughts? What should we be doing about this?
Well, certainly, and thank you for bringing that question up. For full disclosure, I'm the treasurer for the Baltimore City Democratic State Central Committee. I was elected in 2018 to that position, and later, thanks to my senator in my district, Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam, who for a long time she's advocated strongly on many different health and wellness issues over the years. And she's from Jamaica, so she kind of was raised around certain things. So that she was known before she retired as being a health advocate as well. So, and later, I'm now on I'm the secretary for the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus Foundation. But what I will say certainly is that, I mean, I've gone to the Congressional Black Caucus, and for years, and it would be sponsored by McDonald's.
Mickey D's, okay.
Yeah. So let me just,
so healthy. They don't
right.
have a veggie burger on the menu yet, do they?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
And that's where, when you get in a bigger picture of holistic living and understanding the political processes, I'd say most politicians, for the most part, do not even have a basic understanding of the holistic health, agriculture, regulatory field to even begin the conversations. They haven't even created the relationships over the years to understand what's going on. And I've been encouraging them to watch the Cowspiracy documentary, right, Naijha?
Another good documentary that'll explain things. What is up with the Mickey D's? Like I can't even believe that. Like, you know what I say? When I see people driving luxury cars and chugging down some Mickey D's, I'm like, you're gonna put premium gasoline in your car, and then you're gonna put some cheap stuff in your body. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like your body. Your body is a well-functioning machine. Like this is this is a piece of equipment that you have to deal with for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
The rest of your life, and you're gonna put cheap fuel in it. It just confuses me. I mean, we all have to learn something at some point. I mean, I didn't know all my life, but once I knew, I made changes. So, we got to disseminate this information into the community, and you're in a perfect position to expose people to it. Is it a cost factor? So they buy this cheap food because is it cost? Is it efficient?
Well, it's both. I think it's both, honestly, because, I mean, and I talk to people a lot, in certain communities, convenience, of course, cost, as well as consciousness, because there are some people that are in communities, and they're starting urban gardens, and they're doing what's necessary. But when the culture is controlled by mass media and ease of convenient fast foods, people are going to do until they deprogram themselves and allow for themselves to be deprogrammed. People are going to do what they've been taught all their life. And we know most of us, we were raised, just kind of on this typical American diet. It's going to take.
Sad diet? It's not a typical diet. It's a sad diet.
Right. Oh, sad, yes.
Standard American diet.
Right.
It's a sad diet. Okay.
Right.
Stop.
Right.
Go vegan. That's the future of food is plants. Hands down. We're in a pandemic. These viruses, whether it's the COVID, the SARS, the MERS, is brought about by zoonosis. It's from animals, and we continue to eat these animals and wonder why we're running around here with all of these health ailments and mental illness. We need to eat more plants. How do we disseminate this information to the community? Do you have any upcoming projects coming your way, Haki, that may give you the opportunity to do this?
Well, I'm just doing my show right now.
Okay, you want to tell people about the show?
I'm on Fridays on 10:10.
10:10 a.m.
Yes, in the Baltimore area. Okay. So, I'm still just encouraging people, promoting books. Like, of course, my book, Mission Unstoppable, with Les Brown and George Frazier, but I have several of these Preparedness Now, which talks about emergency survival guide, So I'd say, hit me up, successscholarhaki.com, or, definitely get a
let
copy
me
of.
put that in. Success Scholar, Haki S, Ammi,
Or
Success
just
Scholar.
successscholarhaki.com.
Okay.
That's my website.
Scholar. So is it successscholar.com or Success Scholar Haki?
Haki.com, right.
Successscholarhaki.com. That's it?
Right. Yes,
Okay.
and my Instagram is Success Scholar. I mean, I don't know if you want to put all that in, but Success Scholar on Instagram and Success Scholar 1 on Twitter. So, appreciate the follows and the likes, or, follow and likes and shares, or however. So, so that's all I'm doing, Naijha, is just, I'm investing in my health, Naijha. A lot of people talking about, what do we invest in? I'm putting my resources into living and being around, so that I can set a better example for the next generation. And if you're not around, like you said, and you're driving around in these fancy cars and thinking that that's where it's at, you're gonna have some problems when you turn 50 and 60. God will forgive you, but God will forgive you, but your body won't.
Pay now or pay later, and I don't think you really have to pay a lot now, because the type of money that we're spending on a lot of frivolous stuff that's not doing us any good, we can put that into things that are doing us good. Thanks, Susan. Yes, the Stop Playing Go Vegan shirt. I got that from the fabulous Ruby Lathan. And if no one knows who Ruby Lathan is,
shout out to Dr. Ruby.
Exactly, she was one of the features in What the Health. So I got that shirt from her.
What the hell?
Watch DominionMovement.com. That's another documentary. DominionMovement.com. Yes, the future of food is plants. The future of food is plants. And I put a post out yesterday that basically said that we need to do, as people, we need to do our best to build our immunity so we can continue to be around long enough to help our community. So the hashtag is build your immunity to help the community, right? That's what we need to be doing, to help community. Let's do that. Build your immunity to help community. Yeah, because if you're sick, you're not helping anybody. You can't even help yourself. So let's build the immunity to help community. Any last words, Haki? Again, I thank you for taking out time to talk with me today, because I know you have a busy schedule. You're out there, saving lives and picking people up in the EMT. Anything that you want to say to our viewers that you want to make sure that you don't leave here without them knowing?
No, I would say that's it. I would say just definitely watch those documentaries and share them with other people. Of course, the Preparedness Now book, just stay prepared. We never know what's going to happen, what's going on in the world. So, continue to invest in yourself, invest in your body, heal thyself and heal the nation. So I thank Land of Kush for all that you do, all your work. And shout out, that's the Black Firefighters International, brothers and sisters, the International Black Firefighters Association that I'm the political director for the local Baltimore City branch of the Black Firefighters. So, so I'm just, continuing to work and, saving lives in the city of Baltimore.
Yes. So don't hit our firefighters. That race, I sent you that article. Haki, right.
Yeah.
Firefighters yell at them. They're putting themselves on the line every day. All that racial hate. Leave that stuff at home.
Right. Amen. Yeah.
Right now, you're hitting first responders over a parking spot. People are killing, stabbing, spitting, shooting, all this stuff over a freaking parking spot. Get over it, people. Just pay for parking. Okay, it's not that serious. Okay, I appreciate your support, Haki. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you for being a Royalty Rewards member of the Land of Kush, and we hope to see you again. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. Subscribe to NaijhaSpeaks.com. Blessings. Be safe. Be well. Until we see you again. Have a good day.